Alright, that was great. We've got him knocked down to 19 hit points, thanks to the magic of the wizard. Up next is our fighter, attacking from this position. All he's got is his great sword, but he's attacking with advantage, and every little bit helps. A 7 and a 1. Just, it's not going to be good enough. He couldn't land a solid hit, even despite having advantage. The cleric is up again. The cleric's back at full health, but notices that some of the party members are wounded. Does the cleric want to attack or attempt some sort of healing spell? Well, this will be cool if it works. Let's say the cleric had inflict wounds as one of his spells. Odd for a neutral good cleric to have that prepared. I don't see a restriction. But he does have a soldier background and is carrying an axe and other things, so inflicting wounds is part of what he does. So maybe I would have had this one as one of his prepared spells. The good thing is this is a melee attack spell, so it doesn't make him roll with disadvantage. So we're going to be able to make this attack still with advantage because he's flanking, and if we hit, we can do up to 3d10 necrotic damage. This is great. So this will be one of his spell slots for the day. Let's see if we can hit the gargoyle with this. Alright, here we go. Rolling with advantage, the cleric's inflict wounds spell. A 10 and a 4. What is his attack bonus with his spell? This is a cleric. Your attack bonus when you make an attack with a spell is +5. Well, that's actually good. That's going to give us a total of 15, which is enough to hit the gargoyle. That's good news. So what do we do here again? Was it 3d10 damage? Let's pull out some 10-siders. Alright, 3d10 necrotic damage. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 points of damage. This thing has 19, so it's down to 1 hit point, which means it's still dangerous. Alright, remember what I said about this thing getting mean when it was in trouble. It's going to go for the weakest target, and it's going to target our rogue. Our rogue only has 4 hit points, so we've got a great chance at taking the rogue out. It bites and rolls a 4. Not good enough. It claws and rolls an 11. And 11 plus 4 is 15. Does that hit our rogue? Yes, it does. Damage is 1d6 plus 2. 4 points of damage. That drops the rogue to 0 hit points. And when you're dropped to 0 hit points, you fall unconscious. So the rogue is down. So when you're facing a situation like this, let's check the rules and see what happens. Is he just unconscious? Or is he in danger of dying? Or is he already dead? Dropping to 0 hit points. Well, it says you fall unconscious. It's not instant death. Instant death means that when damage reduces you to 0 hit points and there's damage left over that would total your normal full level of hit points. For example, if it did got me to like -9, then that would be an insta-kill. But falling unconscious, that's up here on the next page. Let's zoom in up here. Reduces you to 0 hit points and fails to kill you, you fall unconscious. This unconsciousness ends if you regain any hit points. Whenever you start a turn, with 0 hit points, you must make a special saving throw called a death saving throw. So we roll a d20. If we roll a 10 or higher, we succeed. Otherwise, we fail. Success or failure has no effect by itself. If you get 3 successes, you become stable. On your 3rd failure, you die. So the success and failures don't need to be consecutive. You just keep tracking them until you reach 3 in either one or the other. Alright, so that's how that works. Well, the gargoyle just attacked. Our noble is up first in the initiative order. I don't think he's going to have advantage necessarily on this attack roll because the halfling is down. So I think it's just a straight d20 roll for the noble. He got a 13, adding 5. That's good enough. 1d12 plus 3. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 damage. I think we've done it. Even though if we half... what was it? 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 damage. Yeah, we already cut it in 2. That's enough to drop the gargoyle to 0, shattering it, destroying it, cracking it. So it is defeated. And now we would be technically out of combat, and we would see if we could save the halfling. So perhaps still having a healing spell available, potions of healing. We've got 1 more potion of healing. That should be good enough to save the halfling and stabilize him and maybe get him up in the positive numbers and escape safely. So we can take the icon. Let's check for treasure in here. Alright, we got a roll on magical item table G. That's one of the best tables you can get. Thought our players would deserve that. So I don't know what they're going to come up with. It could be anything, but this is table G. Let's give the percentile dice a roll and see what we come up with here. A 23. A 23 is a pair of magical boots. What do they do? Well, they're boots of levitation. So the party probably wouldn't know what these boots do. They could have been on a corpse or something else in the room, in the pile of bones in there. But remember, our wizard has a scroll with identify, so they should be able to identify the property of the boots. I think I'll look these up just to make sure that we know what boots of levitation do. It's almost self-explanatory, but it might be interesting to read the description. Sometimes things are less powerful than you think, and other times they're even more powerful than you guessed. Boots of levitation requires attunement. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but while you wear these boots, you can use an action to cast levitate spell on yourself at will. Alright, the spell description says you can levitate there and rise up to 20 feet off of the ground for the duration of the spell. The duration is actually it's based on your concentration, and it's up to 10 minutes. So you can cast this at will, so you can just use it again and again and again, levitating up to 20 feet off the ground. Well, it basically just said when you attune to an item, you need to be of the right class if there's any sort of restriction. And then you just need to spend some time with the magical item, concentrate on it during a short rest, which isn't so long. I think it's about an hour or so. And then you should be able to use the item as much as you want. So, boots of levitation. I guess we would decide which party member wanted to take that. But there is basically the end of the adventure. The characters have traveled down, gotten the icon of Ravenloft. They did very well with their encounters through the dungeon, pretty much remaining wound-free until the final encounter. Perhaps if we'd suffered a bit more damage along the way, we may have had a much harder time with this gargoyle. And if we had used other spells before we got here, that also would have made a big difference, I think. But this was considered a deadly encounter for a party of first level adventurers, and that means that you could lose a party member, and we nearly did. Our rogue was almost taken out permanently. Was down and unconscious. Our cleric was badly wounded, and the noble was also wounded as well. So I think it worked pretty well. It's not a bad test run of the 5th edition rules. I feel like I learned quite a bit and how things have changed and evolved. And I'm sure there's much more to learn. So let me know if I got anything wrong or missed anything, or if perhaps tactically you would have played something out differently. I'm always ready to learn more and improve the gameplay. So thanks for watching, everybody. This was a lot of fun testing out the 5th edition rules and using the fantastic components from the Castle Ravenloft. So we even got to play through a little story here. So thanks again, and I'll catch you later for some more gaming fun.